Well, good morning. Right after I signed off yesterday, Dad come pulling up into the yard, and I thought, well, Karen's going to be bringing him back to the yard. And there's this. It looks worse than I think it is. I got the bolts off already for the back of the stripper plate, and take these bolts off for the tightener, and I think then it'll allow me to get this plate out of there, which then hopefully we can get the shank out of there. That is old. That is pre. There was a couple brothers that farmed that field back in the 70s, and Donnie and David Moulton, and I wonder if this wouldn't be something from their thing. So that would be from the 60s or early 70s. Not quite sure. But maybe it's before them, because that hex, that square shank mount and stuff, that's getting old. Well, apparently I had these belts on hand, so all I need to do is detension that tightener, take my tap, take my tap and clean that out, and then run in the detightener for that, and that will allow me to jump this belt off, and the other belts are right behind it. So with any luck, the only pain in the butt looks to be this bracket. So I take it off right here, and then I can sneak in between there. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Be back in a few minutes when that's done. If you don't clean these holes with a tap, what's that take? 1 minute. I put the impact gun on very low power because taps can't take that hammering. You'll break them, and then you're up a crick. If you don't clean that hole with a tap, you will lock that bolt in there. That dust packs. I mean, you guys have seen it in other applications. There's kind of a dirty hole, but for the most part, the hole is there. And you're like, I'll just run the bolt in, and it gets tight. So it takes 1 minute to run the tap through, and there you are. Now your belt is loose. Easy. Well, now it's working like it's supposed to. With the old belts, about 2.5 miles an hour, and I thought I was going to have a stroke. 2.5 miles an hour in corn, like, oh my gosh, this just So this morning with the new feeder house belts on, at 4.5, it showed no signs of slowing down. So we got our money's worth out of them old ones, that's for darn sure. So now at 4.5, 5 miles an hour with 8-row, we aren't even beginning to feed the combine, but we'll get something done now. There's no more lollygagging and playing boggle on my phone while the wagons unload. It's gonna be get them unloaded and get back. And so Karen's learning how to drive the grain cart because Dad this morning I was working on the belts there and got everything up and running. He come out, well, I'm just gonna take and start combining here and here and here. And Karen looks and she's like, I think your dad wants to combine. He's just like, well, I'm just going. I'm just taking the combine and leaving. And so, I hate to say it, but we're getting short on years with him, so just let him do what he wants. I get an escort on every load. So every time I come in the driveway, he'll run down the wagons, checks the back tire of the back wagon. I don't know what exactly he's doing, but when the last wagon tire gets by him. Then he kind of high step marches like that up alongside me and guides me back here. Sorry about the wind noise, but it is just howling up here at the top of the harvester. So you see the field we got done, almost him done. That's the neighbor there. This field here, we're going to talk to the landlord, see if they're in a position of wanting to sell, or if we can rent or contract for deed this field. There's our ground, there's Jeremy's farm. Boy, he's got a beautiful piece of land around that homestead. And the rest of our farm, then the cows way off to the side there, and on the horizon, if I could zoom in more, you'd see the tower at Grattsburg, Wisconsin, 15 or 16 miles away. I can see it through my naked eye, but I can't see it on the phone. It'd be straight above that red shed to its right end. A little needle in the sky, but yeah. So there's the lagoon and the steer lot and our hay bale area. There's the shop. Kind of a quick tour, but I'll end it because of there's our little grain facility. I'll end it because of wind noise, but yeah, from up here it'd be kind of nice to build a line of bins off that crop store right out through the woods. Just a line of bins, and then you got these 3 bins here. That'd be nice for the future storage. You can see all the corn around the crop store. That's the fines. The fines in the corn, and the fan comes so hard out them ports that they'll blow. I'm fighting a cold as well. I'm not going through puberty. It'll blow them fines right back out that port. But yeah, we're getting buttoned down because the next 3 to 4 days are supposed to be rain and snow, and they're talking north of us 6 inches of snow, south of us 3 inches of rain. And for us, they don't really give a whole lot of information as to what's going on, but the next 3 to 4 days are going to be wet of something. And so I always thought it was pretty. You can see the traffic pattern through the field. So yeah. All right, guys.